This is Canada Reads American Style, featuring two friends who love Canada Reads and Canadian literature. Welcome our host Rebecca from Michigan and Tara from Ontario.
Hi, everyone. We are back for day 3 of 2022 CBC's Canada Reads Debate. And I will just upfront apologize for everything I'm about to say because I'm a very competitive person and I'm a sore loser. So I'm really unhappy about what happened, what transpired today on day 3. But, I originally thought that Clayton's book, Life in the City of Dirty Water, would win because I felt that, it really is about the past, the present, the future. Climate change is, for me, my number one issue in the world. And I really felt like he was telling us something in this sort of really kind of funky but beautiful way. So my book went out first. Then, of course, as you may have listened to our podcast about What Strange Paradise and the interviews that we did related to that, and when Tara was so big on the book, I jumped right on that bandwagon. I fell in love with the book. It's in my top 5 of my life, to be honest with you. So when What Strange Paradise got voted off, I was not happy.
Yep.
Today, I was mad. I'm not gonna lie. I was mad. And I am a sore loser because I just couldn't get past it. So here's what I want. Here's a couple of things I want to say. And I will say too that the last couple of days we've had sort of questions that we sort of answered. And Tara and I kind of talked about it. We want it to just be kind of free flow. So it's just gonna be a brain dump for me in a way. But I think Allie said something today that I think everyone probably agreed with, which was he called out Mark for how much effort he put into everything. And I really wanted Mark to win because I feel like it should have been a reward for his stellar performance. I counted it up. This is only my 6th Canada Reads competition debate. And I was blown away. He has raised the bar so high for me in terms of watching a defender or listening to a defender. He was passionate, he was articulate, he was insightful. Everything he brought to the table made this competition this year for me the best. And I can't believe anyone will ever top it. And I just wanted it to be a reward for him for giving us, because if you read the comments online, everyone's saying how great it's been this year. It's been a true discussion among all the defenders. And I feel like Mark laid the groundwork, right? From day 1 and he spoke
Yep.
first. How do you feel?
Oh, yes. I agree 100%. He was amazing. Even like every day he got stronger as well with his debating, or defending the book. Because today there were 2 times I think he had me near tears. In
Mm-hmm.
his opening, when he answered the question today, when he shared about his coming out I believe in 1998, I got teary-eyed. And then he shared about finding out that he was adopted. And the man shared a lot.
Yeah.
He defended that book. He loved that book. I was amazed with everything he brought out of the book, that he brought to the book, that the way that he related to this book, I couldn't imagine it when he first told us. And now I see it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how did I not see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. This book was so personal for him, but the way he articulated why it was, I agree with you. I was definitely in tears. I mean, I had to
Yep.
get a Kleenex and dry my eyes because I just thought, wow. I mean, it again, just so beautifully stated. And I was thinking to myself all day long. I've communicated, as everybody knows, we interviewed Mark a couple weeks ago, and we got to exchange back and forth with his business manager and his partner, Rob. And so all day long, I was sitting here thinking, I want to be in a book club with Rob and
Mm.
Mark. I do. I just feel like,
Yep.
because, Mark had even said that, Rob really sort of got him back interested in reading again. And I feel like having a book club with those two gentlemen would just be amazing. Like I'm not so sure I'd have a whole lot to offer, but I feel like I would learn so much and we would do all these deep dives into great literature.
Yeah.
And so I would just I want to be their bestie and I want to be in their book club.
Yeah. I would like to just kind of hang out on their floor and listen. And
Yeah.
maybe I would, oh, because did he have Post-it notes too? Because then I think like a trip to the stationery store to get Post-it notes and pens would be super fun. And this is ridiculous. Now I'm building up like a whole fantasy of like
Oh, I know.
going shopping with the two of them and
Oh,
then to the
yeah.
bookstore. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Jolene actually lives not like in the same general area, I
that's
guess. I don't want to
right.
say, I don't want to give anything away, but it's really kind of funny because I was like, oh man, if they did start a book club, maybe she could participate. And then I
Yes.
would be horribly jealous.
I
I'd
know
be
I would
bitter.
too.
I would be bitter and jealous. And
I'd
I
like
will,
to say we'd be happy for her. We would,
yeah.
but
mm.
mm,
I don't know. I don't know if I'd be that happy. No, I would totally be happy for her.
yeah.
I'd be horribly jealous. So now I will say that, you know, I think with the two books remaining, I'll try to let it go that
Yep. Yep.
Washington Black is eliminated. But with the two books that are remaining, I'm definitely more in the corner of Five Little Indians. I what I loved about that book is I'm not because I haven't read obviously tons and tons and tons on this subject, but I love that it told a different story in that it was about after the residential school experience. So we got to see them as young adults trying to kind of carve their way. And I think Christian was the biggest surprise for me.
Mhm.
Again, I didn't know any of the five people, but I feel like I thought he would just be kind of the soft spoken person, which he is, but he made so many like really great comments in
Yeah.
support of his book or perhaps criticisms of the others. And so he surprised me. And I just love the idea with this book that again, when he was talking about the city and how these young people were basically just dumped in the city and they just had to find their way. I think Michelle Good did a stellar job
Yeah.
of telling us that story.
Yeah. I think between the two, I would choose Five Little Indians as well for my choice. That's for my book to win it. Um, Also, just if I compare my reading experiences of the two books, Five Little Indians, I had a visceral, um, oh my, what's the word? Sorry, end of day. Reaction. There we go.
Mhm.
A visceral reaction several times to that book. Like you just couldn't help it, and the characters have stuck with me. That I think it's been about a year since I've read it, and there's just parts of it that still come back to me.
Yeah.
It won't leave.
Yeah, and in fact, it's funny, I read it before it was a Canada Reads book, and excuse me, I remember you and I chatted, and you said that to me, and so I was really kind of preparing myself. I remember you said, "The beginning's a little rough, but stick with it," and I did, obviously, and I really, really love the book. And it's interesting because you and I did sort of touch base about Scarborough. And one of the things I think Mark said it today, I'm pretty sure he said it today. And I didn't think about Catherine Hernandez being a playwright.
Hmm.
And so I do think that that is where maybe that's the issue I had kind of with the book in terms of I just could not remember the characters' names.
Yeah,
It was just this kind of weird thing. And I do think people, when they were talking about the critiques of the book, that there were a lot of characters that sort of came in and they sort of came in and then they left and then they never came back again or they
yeah,
showed up midway. So I do think that was the issue I had with it. Again, I love the story. I love Ms. Hina
yeah,
and all the children, especially Bing. I really loved his character.
yeah,
And so, yeah, so I do. That's why I kind of feel like I'm definitely in this corner. I'm not neutral about the winner. I'd really like to see it be Five Little Indians.
yeah, yeah. I agreed with the critique of the a lot of underdeveloped characters in Scarborough. At the same time, appreciated Malia's defense of that when she brought it around to the community as
Mhm.
a whole, and then I was like, "Okay, that makes a lot of sense for that," and I appreciated that. But I also, I think it was today that Christian, uh, critiqued Bing and his mother's relationship
Mhm.
as a queer child, and that it was just too smooth, too happy, and he wanted to see a little, um, I guess, roughness to it, or, uh, mm, like a journey in the relationship between the 2 of them,
Yeah.
and I was like, that I think is a, valid critique, also of their relationship,
Mhm.
even though I think it wasn't quite as smooth and happy as that, but I think he had a valid argument there too.
Yeah, and I just don't actually remember the book as well. So it's interesting when they were talking about when I think Suzanne was the one talking about at the end when there was the dance and he kind of pulled off this thing and there he had like, I don't know, glitter or glitzy outfit on
Mhm.
underneath. And I do remember when I was reading that, I thought, okay, this is a little over the top for me. But
Yeah,
again, I was thinking, as a playwright,
I was gonna say on the
totally works on a
stage.
stage, totally
Yes.
would work on a
Yeah, it
stage.
would totally work. Yeah, it would be a great moment on the stage.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It would be his shining like, I could see the
Mhm.
light shining on him and the whole thing. So
Yep.
for me, it felt a little just, kinda like, what's the Dirty Dancing? You know how at the end, dramatically, everybody could dance in the audience and they all
Yeah.
were, like, in the same and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, that's not how the real world would look." So, yeah, so that didn't ring really authentic for me,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. I did also really enjoyed I'm gonna give huge kudos to Malia, though, for her answer to the first question. I think Ali asked, "Why is the book you selected the right book for you?" But
Mhm.
she had one of those mic drop moments for me, I was gonna say. She brought in everyone. She was like, "Christian, you said this about this character. Mark, you know, relate it to this character. Suzanne, you, Tarek, you." And I was like, and then I'm like, "Oh, that's smart." I was like, that was a bloody good answer that she gave. Yeah.
Now see, that's funny. I felt like, "Okay, wait a minute. I don't wanna" that's I had a so for the first time, I think we
Yeah.
disagree.
Oh,
I
what?
I know.
We were just joking about this
I
a couple
know.
days ago.
I know. So for me, when she did that, I got a little confused and I was like, wait, wait, wait. I want to hear really why it resonated with you because I think when Mark did his, I mean, his
Yeah.
was, oh my God, like I cried. And
Yeah.
then with Christian, the same thing. It was
Yeah.
so beautiful in what he said. And with her, I felt like, oops, I felt like I got dragged back into the competition part of it a little bit, where the other two had laid the groundwork. Now, if she had started with that statement, I don't think it would have resonated as much or in that way with me.
Yeah.
But I felt like the first two really talked about what touched them personally. So that's how I felt about that piece.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna give you that. I give you that. That's true, actually. She did not answer the specific question
Yeah,
as
because
it yeah.
what's and the only reason I say that is because at the end of the day, if we all remember, they're each given 3 books, and of those 3 books, they decide which one they want to defend,
Yep.
and of course, we'll never know what the 3 books are. I mean, and I don't know if they're all yeah, they would be on the long list. Yes, they would all be
Yes.
on
Yeah.
the so who knows which ones she turned down for Scarborough, and
Yes.
that's kind of
I
like
would
I
love to
understood
know.
Mark and I understood Christian why they picked those 2 books,
Yeah.
but with her, I felt like I'm still not getting to the the sort of gold nugget of, like, why that book in particular.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But I will give her a shout out. Like I said, I thought she was a little weak on the first day, didn't I mean, like I said, I can't even imagine the nervousness and everything
Yeah.
that anyone would feel on that first day. Heck, I wouldn't make it past the first day, but no matter what age. But I thought she had day 2 and day 3. I thought
Yeah.
she just killed it. I thought she was fantastic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she represented herself well. And I think about when when Allie said representing your generation, and I thought, Allie, why would you say that?
Yeah. But
No,
she
but
handled that. She was
yeah,
yeah. Yeah. I think she's doing a great job.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So let's see. Oh, I do want to do a shout out too to Suzanne
Mhm.
because, I was surprised the first day that I didn't really feel like she defended Clayton's book as perhaps as well as I thought she might with her background as an educator and everything. And so I was a little surprised, but day 2 and 3, oh my
Yep.
gosh, like I could listen to that woman talk for days
Yeah.
and get her perspective.
Yeah. You need to pick up her book.
Oh, yes. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. I know I'm definitely
Yeah.
going to. It's on
Yeah.
my reading list and I know talk can you talk a little bit about that book?
Oh, like right now?
Yeah, just say a
Oh,
little few
sure.
things about it.
Quick.
Let's
So
give
it's Finding the Mother Tree, and it's a memoir, but it's also about her research. So nature and memoir is how I would describe it if you had to stick it into like a um, little pocket kind of thing. So you get her memoir from the time she's a graduate student, and working when she first begins working for the forestry up until the present day. And so her family, building up her family and her relationships with her family, her brother and her parents, building her own family, getting married, children, and then to the present relationship that she's in. And then interspersed, not it's a huge portion of it, is her research, which is fascinating, into forest ecology, which is just how there is a mother tree basically in the forest. You have mother trees that send out their roots, and they build these relationships with the fungi that are in the soil that help nurse the younger trees that are coming along. It's beautiful. Like
wow.
it is. Oh yeah. Her
That gave me
research is,
chills.
yeah. Oh, it's amazing. And she shows you how she builds up to her theory of the mother tree, starting when she begins working for the forestry, when she's basically they're clear cutting, and she's helping to design the best way to um, the cheapest, easiest, quickest way to grow more trees,
Mhm.
right? Once an area has been clear cut it for forestry or for lumber.
Yeah, and I know that there's that big issue in British Columbia of, old growth forest,
Yes. Yeah. This
and
is it.
I when I read that, it feels so painful because I think, have we not as a human species learned anything from the past? Because, Michigan's history, we were nothing obviously but forests,
Yeah.
when the, settlers came in, and they just completely knocked down every single tree, and lumber was huge and everything here,
Yeah.
and that was what the economy was based on, but it's like, have we not learned anything? Why would
Yeah.
they take old growth forest out? Ugh,
Yeah. I know. You read her book and you're like, okay, you want to start digging in the dirt. Like go up to a big tree and just start like get your hands in and dig in the dirt and find the roots and the fungus with a magnifying glass and just start peeking around in there. It's
yeah.
fascinating. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely going to read it, and I'm looking forward to that. And it's
Yeah.
funny too because last year, or I don't remember what if it was last year. Yeah, with was it Two Trees last year? I can't remember the full
Yes,
title of the
I think
book.
so.
And it sounds like it it's kind of the same general idea, but obviously Suzanne maybe had a more successful attempt at it or something. How do you feel about those 2?
Yes, you're right. I never thought about comparing the two before. Um, because there were when I read Two Trees, I enjoyed portions of the book, and it was the portions that were about nature. And
Mhm.
actually, it's not true. And I enjoyed portions of her memoir about her family, but I found that they didn't. She didn't. The book did not connect for me, the
Mhm.
two,
Yeah.
whereas they did in Suzanne's book.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, it's definitely on my list and I want to
Yes.
read it. So, and then I wanted to get your take on Tarek's kind of apology. I thought that was sort of interesting. Did you pick up on that?
Do you mean like his first statements, his opening statements?
I don't think it was his opening statement. It's at one point he sort of said, "I want to talk about." I think like almost like Essie as an author. Like he wasn't
Yes.
being yeah. So go ahead. Do you
Yeah,
remember that piece of it?
I
Yeah.
do. I think he realized what he said yesterday, and I think it came off not in the spirit that he meant it. Like when he
Yeah.
called the book artless and disjointed.
Yeah.
I don't think he meant it. I think he just got caught up in the competition.
Yeah. I agree, and I thought it was a, kind of a really nice way to do it in a very soft and gentle way and
Yeah,
not sort of, like, drag it all open and examine it too deeply, but I thought he did a nice job of just saying, "Of course, that's not what he meant," and I
yeah,
think we all know. I again, the heat of competition and
yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah. And I
So
found his style anyways, I actually really liked it because he played more of like a little bit of a devil's advocate because he
mhm,
was the one that was often more critical of the other books,
mhm.
but it gave the other defenders a chance to really defend their book. Like, you know what I mean? Instead of
Yeah.
just everyone just loving everything, which sometimes it was. Sometimes it was just I
Yeah.
mean, when they asked the book about what the question about what does do these books reveal about love or something, Mark loved everyone. Like I even wrote down, Mark loves everyone because he loved every book and he found love everywhere. Actually, and as did Turek for that question as well. But I found he was the one that could sometimes push the defenders a little bit when it came to saying something about their books.
That's true, he did.
Yeah.
I mean, it really did generate a lot of discussion because
Yeah.
then people would say like, "Well, I don't really agree with that."
Yeah.
And then "Yeah, you're right,
Yeah.
maybe that kind of was his strategy a bit.
Yeah.
Huh. I hadn't thought about it that way, but I
Yeah.
think that might be true." So, okay, so the question I want to ask you now is how do you think everyone will vote? Like who do you think will vote which book off?
Okay. I think Mark is going to eliminate Scarborough. I don't think he when his
Oh,
yes, I
I'm writing this
oh,
down
are
so that
you?
we can look
Oh,
tomorrow. Oh yeah, yeah.
okay. I don't think his vote today was really against Five Little Indians so much as um a grasp to save his own book. Like I think for some reason he just felt that he didn't want Five Little Indians to go through without some kind of vote against it.
Oh, I see. Okay, got it.
But I don't think that was where his heart lies and that it's the book that he wants to not win.
Yeah.
Uh, Suzanne, I think, will also vote against Scarborough. And
Hmm.
Tarek is a mystery to me. I don't really, I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I Okay, so I have to look at this. So how do I
yeah.
think Mark
Are we going to disagree again?
I
Do
don't
you?
know. So I thought
Yeah,
your point was good though. I do think you're right. He didn't Five Little Indians for him. He needed to vote against it today. I mean, in the way that he sort of stated that. But
hmm,
which one do I think? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think he'll vote Scarborough off. Okay, so I'm going to put Scarborough myself.
okay,
I got to put our initials next to it. I mean, I'm like anal
yeah,
retentive about these kind of things. So I'm putting our initials so we know who said what. And let's see, for Suzanne, I think I might disagree with you. She
okay,
really spoke so long about that relationship. And I here's the thing too. I think it was the mother child
yes,
relationships that touched her heart the most.
yeah,
And obviously that didn't necessarily, I mean, there was a case of that in I can't think of the character's name in Five Little Indians, but obviously she was a mother. But so I'm going to say she's going to vote for Five Little Indians.
yeah. She does love Bing. She
Yeah,
does love Bing.
yeah,
She mentioned him several times today.
exactly.
Yeah,
And she kept saying like as a mom, and I'm thinking,
yeah,
okay, so she's really going. And then
yeah,
she too also at the end said like she went with the books that made her cry. But
yes.
I feel like Scarborough was more of that for her. And then Tarek, gosh, how do I think? Let me think about this. Oh, okay, we both have to make a decision though so that we
Oh,
can
I do? I thought I'd
yeah.
gotten out of it, to be
No, you
honest.
did not. You did not get out of it. I'm
Good
gonna
try.
say I'm gonna say he's gonna vote against Five Little Indians.
Okay. Um, uh,
Because right
okay.
now you have 2 against Scarborough and I have 2
Uh,
against, Five Little Indians. Oh my god, isn't that wild that we
yeah,
get
that
to the
is.
end and we just cannot decide? Alright.
Okay. I think he is going to vote against. Yeah, I think he might go against eliminate Five Little Indians as well. Because in the end, he doesn't care about a happy ending. I don't think that's a thing for him, whether one is happy or not.
Yeah.
He is all about love, and I think he might think that there is more love in Scarborough.
Yeah.
Although,
Yeah.
oh, that's tough.
And
I
more
could
hope. I
add
mean,
more
in a
hope.
way, yeah, in a
You
way,
know,
I think you
yeah,
might see that hope more in Scarborough.
yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe the more disenfranchised, oh, I don't know. No, I could argue both ways. I could easily switch my mind right now, but
Do you wanna switch your mind? I
no,
give
I'm
you
gonna
one last
stick.
shot.
I'm gonna stick.
Okay, good. All right, well, I think we've kinda said as much as we can.
Okay.
So I would just like to say at the very end that Rob and Mark, if you guys, not that they'll be listening to us, but if you guys ever create a book club,
Yep.
please invite me. I would love to be, or
Yeah.
even if you want me to just be quiet and just listen, I would be happy to do
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
Because I love both of you. I think you're awesome people.
Yep. Likewise. I don't even need an invite. I'm just there. I'm there.
There you go.
See?
Yeah, you know what? We could do it. We could do it Zoom, and we
Yeah.
could even keep our cameras turned off.
Yes. Yes.
We'll mute and keep our cameras turned off, and they won't even have to worry about
We'll
us.
be
They'll
the
just, yeah,
best guests ever.
we
Quiet.
would, and we would send them wine. Oh no, you probably
Yeah.
can't send wine through the mail, right? I don't know.
I don't
Probably can't.
know.
I can't from here to there.
But
I know
maybe you
that's for
can
sure.
do like a delivery courier service
There you
from,
go.
I have no idea.
We'll have Jolene drop it off for us.
Yes.
How's
There
that?
we go. There we
When
go.
she's in the book club, we'll let
Yep.
Jolene drop it off. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for listening. We hope that you've enjoyed kind of our take on everything so far. Tomorrow is day 4. Jolene will be back with us, and we're excited to have her back.
Yay.
And we can't wait to see what happens. I just think I'm thankful that Canada Reads CBC has put on just my personal best Canada Reads this year. So thank you
Yep.
so much.
Yep. Thank you.